flagging over this vehicle now. Oh, nearly hit the rider. I can see the front right tire is completely slick. It's not much different on the driver's side either. It was the spotter that called this out over the radio, by the way.
Sana maintindihan naman nila na yung mga kalbong gulong na ganyan, sinusulit yung gamit. Hindi naman po yan sinasadyang gagamitin natin ng kalbo. Ayaw din po namin. Kaya lang, syempre, sinusulit namin yung paggamit namin ng guma bago kami bumili. Pero meron na pong nabili, may papalit naman na po.
Thank you.
Yung langan sa amin.
And actually, the owner of this vehicle arrived now with what appears to be 2 new tires. So, if they'd have installed those earlier, obviously they wouldn't have been flagged down. Aside from being ticketed, those plates attached to the vehicle will actually be confiscated, and then the owner of the vehicle will be required to go to LTO and undergo a full inspection of the vehicle. They flagged down this little truck here, also being subjected to a technical impounding. You can see the condition of the tire on the back here, completely slick. Same problem on the other side. You see how slick the tire is there? The truth is, a lot of the time what they see, especially with trucks, is that they will keep driving until the tire explodes. And that's the time they'll put in a new one. The risk is you have an accident, or you cause someone else to have an accident when it does explode, or, heaven forbid, someone's standing next to it when it explodes. Good morning, everyone. We're back on the road with DOTr-SAICT, and today we're here in Novaliches, where they're doing a roadworthiness inspection operation on public utility vehicles. One of the things I noticed with this Jeep is that despite using the brakes, no brake lights came on. In fact, I'm not even sure if there are lights installed. According to the enforcer, the driver wasn't able to get the headlights working either. There's a rider there that they've been calling forward, but instead he stopped to unload his passenger and had a passenger with no helmet. That's the reason for flagging him over. There's one of the Q City buses, which a lot of people doubted, saying it wouldn't last, but it's continued to expand and get better and better. It's one of the great LGU projects in terms of public transportation. There's a rider that's trying to run from enforcers over there. I'm not sure if the enforcer's going to be able to apprehend him. So they did manage to block him. You see the driver's also wearing slippers. That's the helmet there. You can see it's unauthorized, not approved for use on a motorcycle. And I guess they knew, because the moment they saw enforcers, they tried to make a U-turn and leave the area swiftly. You may have seen in the background that they also flagged down another rider where the driver's not wearing a helmet and there's no plate attached to the back. A lot of the motorcycles they've been flagging down over the last week that don't have plates attached to the back, when they open the compartment of the bike, the plate is actually inside. I'm not saying that's the case here, but it's happened so many times over the last week. People had their plates, but they just didn't want to attach them. Look at that tiny little vehicle. It has what appears to be a green plate issued by LTO. They're probably going to remind him that that's not a right way to wear a helmet. A lot of people wear it like that, balancing on top of the head. What happens if you have an accident, right? It won't offer any kind of protection. Now, personally, I've never seen someone ticketed for that. But a lot of the time they'll give advice to the rider and just verify everything, just to make sure everything's okay, the license, registration. So it turns out I was wrong. They didn't flag him down to give him advice about the helmet. They flagged him down because they saw him allegedly driving along, holding his cell phone in the air and making some kind of video. So he's actually being ticketed under the Anti-Distracted Driving Act. There's a lady speaking to one of the enforcers now, and her complaint is that allegedly every rush hour, when traffic gets heavy, there's a lot of motorcycles on the sidewalk. And I mean, I've experienced that myself, not specifically here, but in other areas. And sometimes people are polite and they'll be a little bit careful, but other times they'll be like honking at you and ordering you out of the way. Oh wow, I just saw that this Jeep has an automatic sunroof.